If you're anything like me, a few years ago, the words yeast starter probably sounded more complicated than they actually are. Hey guys, Glenn here, aka the Beardy Man. Today I just want to walk through how I make a yeast starter, why I make a yeast starter, and hopefully take away any fear around using liquid yeast. Now, I have used dry yeast for a long time. I tear it open, sprinkle it in, job done. And to be clear, there's absolutely nothing wrong with dry yeast. Modern dry yeast is excellent. It's reliable, it's consistent, it's shelf stable, and you can make absolutely fantastic beers with it. So this video, it isn't a dry versus liquid yeast debate. This is just about removing the fear around liquid yeast and starters. Now, liquid yeast, it does have a few negatives. It's more expensive per pack. It usually requires a bit of planning, and in many cases, especially with those bigger beers, it benefits from a starter. And that extra step, it's enough to put a lot of people off. But the reason liquid yeast exists is because it gives you access to strains and character profiles that you wouldn't always get in dry form. Certain Belgian strains, specific English profile, niche lager cultures, etc. That's where liquid yeast, that's where it really shines. So let's take a look at a real world example. Today I'm brewing Reuben's Triple Crush. It's a big beer, 33 litres, original gravity of 1.087. Now, that's not a small pale ale. It needs a healthy pitch of yeast. So when I plug in the numbers into Brewfather and check the pitch rate calculator, it tells me I need around 687 billion cells for this particular batch that I'm brewing. Now, if I were to use, or if I were to pitch liquid yeast directly without a starter, I would probably need 5 packets of liquid yeast. And those liquid yeast packs, they are expensive. So 5 packs, it would add up. Now, if I were to take 1 pack and build a starter, Brewfather calculates that at 4.1 litre starter, around 1.036 gravity. I can grow yeast up to roughly 694 billion cells, and that hits my target. So the choice becomes simple, either 5 packs of this or 1 liquid yeast starter. Now let's talk about cost, because this is what often puts a lot of people off. Yes, I'm buying a pack of liquid yeast, and yes, I am buying dry malt extract to make this starter. In this case, I'm going to be using 400 grams of DME, dry malt extract. Now, if I went with the dry yeast instead, I might need a couple of packs or sachets for this particular beer. And that's easy. Open them up, pitch them in, job done. So dry yeast absolutely wins for convenience. But for this beer, I want a specific strain, and that's the one that I've chosen. I want the exact character profile it gives, and I want to be able to hit the proper pitching rate without spending the cost of 5 liquid yeast packs. And that, my friends, is why I make a starter. For me, a starter isn't about being fancy. It's about cell health and proper pitching rates. Because under pitching this size of beer can stress the yeast, and stressed yeast can mean more unwanted esters, harsher alcohol notes, or even a stalled fermentation. You might get away with it, many people do, but I prefer to give the yeast the best possible start. And guys, here is the most important part. You don't need a stir plate. There are people who will say you need a stir plate for a starter. Yes, a stir plate will increase cell growth. That's just science. But you don't need one to make a healthy starter. This, my friends, is how I do it. I boil water with dry malt extract to around 1.036 gravity and then let it boil for around 20 minutes. Then I chill it down to pitching temperature. I transfer it into a sanitized 5-litre demijohn, pitch the yeast and give it a really good shake to oxygenate it. One important thing here is I'm not sealing this up with an airlock. For a starter, we actually want the oxygen. The goal here isn't fermentation, it's yeast growth. So we do allow the oxygen to get in. So for that reason, instead of sealing it, I just cover the top of the demijohn with some sanitized tin foil. And basically this keeps anything out, but still allows the oxygen in. That oxygen is what helps the yeast reproduction and build cell count. And then from there, I just keep it beside me. Every time I walk past it, I give it another shake. And it's that shaking that drives off the CO2 and pulls oxygen into the wort, which helps the yeast reproduce. Then I'll let it run for 24 hours while it's still active. Sometimes I'll let it finish, I'll cold crash it and then decant the spent wort before pitching. Other times, now if timing works out, I'll pitch it at high activity. Now, when it comes to pitching the starter, there are a couple of ways to do it. Sometimes I'm lazy and I just pitch the whole thing that's liquid and all, especially if I'm tight on time and the starter is still active. But the more controlled way of doing it is to let the starter finish, then cold crash it in the fridge so that the yeast drops out. And that's the important part. That's where we want that separation. You should see a nice compact yeast cake at the bottom, and it's at that point that you can pour off most of the liquid that sits on top of that yeast cake. That's just the spent wort and we'll keep the yeast. Because with that method, you're pitching a more cleaner, more concentrated slurry into your beer. Now, both methods work. This just gives you a bit more control, especially for bigger or more delicate beers. Guys, making a yeast starter, it's not complicated. It's just a small batch of low gravity wort designed to grow healthy yeast before it ever touches your actual beer. And here's the thing, if you're happy with dry yeast and it's working for you, you just keep using it. It isn't about replacing dry yeast. It's about understanding that liquid yeast doesn't need to be intimidating. And once you understand pitching rates and you understand how simple a starter actually is, it stops being this lab style mystery and just becomes another tool in your brewing process. And for those bigger beers, it just gives you more control. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't subscribed, just hit that subscribe button and the bell notification to be reminded of more upcoming videos similar to this. Guys, as always, thank you so much and happy brewing.